Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. It's the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Chiefs will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
They're going to try and run. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game.
If we had $1 for every time we heard a team talk about explosive plays and how valuable they are, we probably wouldn't have to work very much. And we just saw a big one there. And then they tried to go explosive again, going for 2.
Yeah, is that a little too risky, you think? Just kick the extra point?
And you know, I'm all about getting points. And if I feel good about my kicker, I go ahead and do that. But with that ball at the 2-yard line, going for 2, I think it's awfully tempting for teams nowadays.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
First and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. Got his man, it's Dulcich. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Here's Richardson to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Richardson working from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And now the Chiefs will bring the offense onto the field as they'll go for two here. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for two is snuffed out. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football. And we... Witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 70 yards.
When a winning streak stretches this far, you start to wonder if a team is truly unstoppable. And here's a guy who's been very much the legs that have helped drive this team to wins week after week. And even when teams have keyed on him and tried to slow him down, he's still gotten the job done enough to avoid a loss. Talking with him in pregame, though, he thinks that this week could be his big one.
The ball is free. Taylor lost it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's laid out deep for Rice. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Rashee Rice, 33 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
First and 10, it's Richardson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Pittman's first catch, good for a first down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That good for 22 and a first down.
I have to admit I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too... for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Now Richardson, meanwhile, going to get this ball to Taylor, and he'll go down at the 28. position to be in here, 2nd and inches. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Try to punch it in with Taylor. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss. 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week. It takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
So the completion gets them just a yard, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That's laid out deep for Rice. Touchdown! Rashee Rice in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was the Eagles who come away with the home victory. A.J. Brown leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. The Raiders able to climb back over 500 with the victory as they stay within range of a playoff spot at 5-4. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Josh Allen, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. There's a nice move, and this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Richardson out of the shotgun. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Richardson back to throw it. Flushed it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Richardson, and that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, nice move. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Two yards to go, second down. Again, it's Pacheco.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's Pacheco.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 39. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
A handoff now for Pacheco.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. I got you.
And they'll run with Pacheco.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here we go, D, get off the field.
Here's Pacheco.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
73 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 19-yard line.
Now 2nd and 9.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike.
This is Pacheco.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Check, check. Get your swerve on.
They'll run here with Pacheco.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Here's Pacheco once again.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there are definitely mobile quarterbacks in this league that you have to worry about containing on the ground. This is not someone you'd put in that category. But if the situation presents itself, sometimes you just got to go. And he looked pretty spry there and takes it into the end zone.
So the Chiefs opt to keep the offense out there, and they'll line up to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. And incomplete as the clock stops here with just 1 second to go in this football game.
Harrison Butker at a kickoff for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for Kansas City, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody, from Indianapolis.